Hopefully the wind blowing doesn't, take away from what I'm about to drop on y'all. Because, I want to say hey y'all. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's Janae Braighan, and I'm here. What I'm about to drop on y'all today, I have been writing out for like the past, I don't know how long it's been, but this subject, what I'm about to drop on y'all today, has been a subject that I have been wanting to talk about. Like, I've been yearning to talk about, because I just feel like somebody needs to hear this, because I've been through, well, let me not say I've been through this, but I'm still going through this journey, and I just want, I just want to bless somebody. And what I'm about to drop on y'all today, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever decade that you're in your life. This is going to be helpful. You're going to be able to pick up what I'm putting down right here in this video, okay? So, a lot of times in our lives we get comfortable, and God kind of isolates us. And when he isolates us, we don't know how to, a lot of times we don't know how to just accept that isolation phase or just being alone. No matter how you ended up alone, whether, you moved out, you just moved, you're young and you just moved out your mom's house, or maybe, you just bought your first house. Maybe you just moved to another state. Maybe you've been living with somebody, for a couple years, and y'all, broke it off. Y'all not together anymore. Whatever the case may be, however you ended up alone, a lot of times it's not comfortable. And a lot of times people look at it as a curse and not a blessing. So today I just want to talk to y'all about being alone, like really the basics of being alone, and how it's not a bad thing. Being alone is not a bad thing. A lot of times people kind of mistake being alone as a curse or being alone as a bad thing. And I feel like people look at it that way when they're just uncomfortable, people are uncomfortable with being alone, because they're not thinking of it. They're just thinking of it, as in the physical aspect of not having anybody near you or not having anybody with you. Which I hate that outlook that people have, because, one thing about it, however you ended up alone, whether you broke up with somebody, whether you moved to a different state, whether you moved out for the first time, or whatever the case may be, there's always something to be gained out of that time alone. And it's crazy because I'm alone right now, as far as physically, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a husband, I don't talk to nobody, so I am going through this process of being alone. And at first, well, you know what, let me run it back. How I got here, it was I moved away from home. One of the best things to ever happen to me in my life. But it really, when I moved away, it was really a coming of age story for me, being the baby of the family, and it just, in its ways, it has its perks, but also it could be so crippling, so I moved away. Not only that, just started growing, and just realizing, just started finding out, some people just wasn't for me. Some people that I thought that were for me, they just weren't. And that's okay. On your journey, everybody, you can't take everybody with you. I know people probably have told you that before. You probably heard that before. You can't take everybody with you, but that is just really true. And when I moved away, I spent a lot of time alone. And at first it was something new to me because I had never been alone. You know, I always, even when I moved out my mom's house, I moved in with a roommate. And so I never just got the time to experience, you know, well, I take that back. I did stay by myself like a couple months before I moved in with a roommate. But I just never really got that experience of, you know, just being alone with myself. And like I said, you know, however you got there, however you've been placed in the state of isolation, you know, it doesn't matter. The thing about it is, while you're here, you need to learn what you need to learn. You need to get what you need to get out of the situation. And what I wanted to say is that a lot of times people, what's up? Like, a lot of times people will project how they feel about being alone on you. I remember, you know, being around my family this year, and of course, like, they would ask me about like my life or whatever, and I tell them, like, no, I don't have no boyfriend. I live at home alone, like, you know, and that's okay. And then they, you know, kind of just project the whole idea of, you know, me finding somebody or me going out to, you know, meet new people and things like that. And yeah, that sounds fun and all, but a lot of time, like the thing with me, I've already done all of that. I already met people. Like, listen, I don't need no more friends. I don't need any more people in my life. Like, that's just not what I was needing. And, you know, like I said, people project that on you, and they just, you know, want to make you feel like you just need to be searching for somebody. And that's not the case. A lot of times it's just meant to be that. Just this time you spending alone with you and God, really. A lot of times God wants us alone for us to draw closer to Him. And a lot of the times we get in these relationships or we'll find these friendships that really is just kind of a crutch, because you're just being with that person because you are uncomfortable with being alone. You know, a lot of times that happens. And, you know, even and I also feel like a lot of people can't even talk about being alone because a lot of people have been married for years. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really, like, they wouldn't really know what it's like to have a state of, you know what I'm saying, just isolation away from their partner or their kids or whatever the case may be. So of course that's all they know. So of course they're gonna, you know, put that on you and make you feel like you need to just be with somebody. But no, that's not the case. While you're alone, you need to spend time loving on yourself so you can know yourself, so you can be ready for when your mate does come along, or you can be ready for when, you know, your best friend or your true friend comes along and find you. You know, I feel like the process of just being alone with yourself, and I'm not talking about even just like, I'm talking about some days you just going home, not texting, not getting on the phone, and just spending some time alone. That is really needed. But a lot of people, you know, they don't bask in it. You know, they take it for granted. The thing with being alone is that it's really, when you learn how to be comfortable with it, it's really a peaceful thing. You know, I heard somewhere where they said elevation requires separation. So a lot of times you have to separate yourself from a lot of things. Maybe it's family, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you just have to separate yourself from that. when you're alone and you're spending time with yourself, you get to pour more into yourself, like you get to really find out, who you really are. Because somewhere between, the time when we're kids, like, kids are so honest, they're so pure, they're themselves. But, we get older and we grow and, we get friends, or, we start hanging around people and their views kind of taint how we really, think and view things. As I was talking about how, however you ended up alone, some like you may have had this friend for years, and y'all may have gone through some things, and that's okay. People outgrow each other and it's perfectly fine. Maybe you just have a lot of noise going on in your life right now, and you just need to reset. A lot of times, just like a artist that just like J. Cole or somebody like that, they'll fall off the face of the earth. You will not hear anything from them, and they'll come back with one of the best bodies of work ever. That's how it should be in your life. Like, you should just want to, like, just recharge, just get back to who you are naturally. And also I want to say, be where you're celebrated and not tolerated. A lot of times people hate being alone so much that they will settle for these low grade friendships or low grade relationships just for the sake of not being alone. When you spend time alone with yourself, you learn yourself, and you know what you like and what you don't like, and you know what I'm saying, you know what you like, and so you know how you feel about certain things. And it's like I want to get back to saying how sometimes other people's views fog our own. When you spend time alone, you get to think of it for yourself. You get back back to who you are naturally. Calling a friend, to get an opinion on an outfit, when in the back of your mind you already know what you want to, like, you already got your own flavor, your own sauce. Throw on what you want to throw on. You ain't gotta call them, to help you get dressed. Oh, look at her. The thing of what I'm trying to tell y'all is that, it's all right to think for yourself. I remember I had a friend, and she told me that, hey, Turk. I remember I had a friend, and she told me that I had these shoes. They was like some silver metallic, like they was different kind of shoes, but they was cute. They were different, but they was cute. And I remember wearing them in front of her, and she was like, "Those ugly." You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, "What?" Like, I didn't think they was ugly. And she basically told me I ain't need to wear the shoes no more. But I didn't listen to her. I think the next winter had came out, because I think they kind of like winter shoes or whatever. The next winter had came out. I put them shoes on, and don't you know, I got compliments on them shoes. So yeah, don't let nobody's views fog your own views. And I want to also say, what I was trying to say is that, never settle for the sake of not being alone. A lot of times we'll hang around these people. And I know one thing about me is that, I used to be, just wanting to be a people pleaser, and, just scared of that rejection from people, that, I just always prided myself in being there for people. And, but when I started spending more time alone by myself, and stop reaching out to people, and just kind of pour more in myself, and just pouring more into myself, I realized that nobody really called my phone. Nobody reached out to see how I was doing, and that's some hard reality, but I needed that. Like, thank you so much. So now I know, like, I'm going to be around people where I'm celebrated and not just tolerated. A lot of times I found myself, just saying like, dang, I'm always here for this person, or I'm always here for people when they need to be uplifted and when they need encouragement. But when I'm home alone and I need some encouragement or I need somebody to lift me up, nobody's there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, who created that problem? I did. Nobody but myself. And that's okay, because now I know that time me spending with myself, being alone, I learned to appreciate my own company. Like, I learned that I am the entertainment. Like, I can sit in my house and entertain my own self. And another thing is that, I pay too much rent. Like, I spend too much money for my apartment not to dwell in it and be dwelling in it. Like, living in it, cooking, cleaning, whatever it is that I feel like I want to do, I can go to my house and do it. I don't have to, go here or go there. A lot of times people it's like they don't like spending time at home. Like, it's your home. And like I was saying, don't settle for the sake of being alone, like, especially like with friendships or relationships, this is what I wanted to say. I remember me talking to one of my friends, and this was a while ago, but I'll never forget. She was just saying, she told me that she just like being held at night. And okay, you're honest with yourself, you know that you like being held at night. So here you go. You got somebody that's holding you at night, but they're not really good they're not really good for you. They're holding you at night because that's what you want, and they know that's what you want, and they're doing that. But they're also bad for you and not doing other things that that can help you. All they're doing is holding you at night, and that's what you have them there for, and you're okay with it. You're settling for that. That's not okay. If you fall back and spend time with yourself, you'll realize, like, hey, just because I want to be held at night, doesn't mean that I'm finna sit up here and put up with, XYZ. Take a hold of yourself and be like, that's crazy. Dang, who's getting flued out? What was I getting at? What I'm trying to say is, when you spend time alone with yourself, nobody can insert yourself. When you spend a time alone with yourself, nobody can insert themselves in your life, because you already know. You already got your list, like what it is and what it ain't. And if they're not checking each, all of everything, what are they there for? You're settling. That's just like, entertaining. Like, I know another thing that I've learned within these past few years is that I don't entertain meaningless, like, people. Like, how you meet a guy, like, at the grocery store or something, like, I don't know, like, just meet a guy out or whatever, and y'all exchange numbers, and y'all start texting and stuff like that. But a couple messages back and forth, you kind of realize, like, this dude ain't really what you want. He done already gave you 4 red flags already, 4, 5, 6, 7 red flags already, and you already in the back of your mind, you like, yeah, this not gonna work. Like, I know it's not gonna work. But you sit back and you entertain it anyways, because shoot, it's comfortable for you. Like, that's, like, I ain't doing nothing else. Let me text back and forth, and just because you're alone, like, your phone been dry for I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? And you meet this guy, y'all text back and forth. You know that, first of all, honestly, before you even gave him your number, you kind of looked at him up and down. Like, you kind of already knew, like, he wasn't even really vibing, you know what I'm saying, like that. He shouldn't even ever had your number. But you didn't get, or vice versa, she shouldn't even had your number, but you gave it to her anyways. And now you texting back and forth, and you realize, like, this ain't even a girl that you want. This ain't nobody, like, she don't even have the half of the stuff that's on your list. But you've been lonely. So you text her back and forth, like, no, don't do that. Do not settle. If you know that's not what you want, don't settle. Even if, like, Don't. Even if it's a friend. If they not, you know, checking off, if they're not respecting the boundaries that you've placed, they gotta go. That's another thing. The more time you spend with yourself, that's when you start to set boundaries. Ooh, y'all, this one right here for me, this one right here was, it was crazy for me because I thought I was going crazy at first, but I wasn't going crazy. It was just the fact that I had been letting people play with me for too long, and I just really had to set boundaries. And you know, a lot of times when you set boundaries before yourself, when you set boundaries for yourself, a lot of people will, you know what I'm saying, try to make you seem like you the bad person, like something wrong with you. No, you're not. You're not. You've just woken up. You've just spent time alone, and you've learned yourself that you know that you're not going to put up with certain things. And when you make those boundaries, stand on it. Because listen, y'all, I had to tell my mama and my brother, like, listen, and y'all, I'm going to definitely, you know, y'all going to know my whole background, my you know, life story, word for word or whatever. But just to give you a little bit, like, this year in my life has been one of the craziest years ever. Like, I promise, I turned 30 and life was just like, all right, boom, like,
let's go in and jump her.
Like, that's just really what it was. But one thing I had to realize was that I just was so, you know, such a people pleaser. And, you know, I was that person that I'm going to answer my phone for everybody because, oh, y'all, I'm crying. Like, that means I'm healing. That means, like, there's something that I need to grieve right here. You know, and it was so crazy because I went to our counselor, therapist or whatever. She was just telling me, like, it's so like, be good to yourself. That's what she had to tell me. She had to say, she had to tell me, she said, be good to yourself, you know, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. I remember just, I'd be that person. Anytime somebody call my phone, I'm answering. Because when I call somebody's phone, I want them to answer for me. But you have to realize that everybody they don't think like you do. They don't have the same heart that you do. So what you have to do is you have to set some boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going through something and I just did not talk. I didn't answer the phone for my mom or my brother. I didn't answer the phone for nobody for like a whole weekend. And you know, when I heard from them like the next week, of course I was crazy. Like, of course I'm sure something was wrong with me, but nothing was wrong with me. I just needed a moment to myself. And then, you know, people act like they don't understand that. But it's so crazy because when they don't answer the phone, or when it's time for them to take time for themselves, that's okay. But when it's your turn to do it, they don't understand that. But they didn't understand, my mom and my brother didn't understand that because that's the person that I had been to them for so long. Like, answering my phone whenever they call, or, you know, doing this whenever. No. But once I started pouring more into myself and spending time with myself, I learned I don't have to do that. What Erykah Badu said, she was like, I guess nobody never told you all you must hold on to is you. That's it. That's the only person that you have to worry about. And a lot of times, people get away from that. And that's what God led me back to this year, pouring more into myself. When you pour more into yourself, you get back to who you are naturally. You know, you start back thinking for yourself. When I got away from my friends, I started thinking for myself. Like, because sometimes you have these dreams and you have these aspirations that you can't really talk to your mama about. You can't talk to your friend about. You can't talk to your brother about because they don't know. They don't know it like you know it. They ain't feeling it like you feeling it. They on the outside looking in. So sometimes you just gotta go. You gotta talk to yourself. Maybe you need to start writing it out. Maybe you need to make some voice memos. I had to take this class for, I forgot what I had to take this course for, but I had to take this course for something, and it's like, and the instructor for the course was just saying, you know, Janae, I feel like you know, well, the instructor was just saying how a lot of people, how people have different outlets and people express themselves in different ways, instead of, smoking weed or, hitting a bottle or whatever the case may be. Or let me not say smoking weed. Instead of like rolling up and smoking or hitting a bottle or whatever, people can journal. People can, do voice memos, or people can do video diaries. And she suggested to me that I do video diaries. I was like, you know what, that is perfect for me. And that's something that I'm definitely going to start doing. But this one right now, this what I'm about to bring to you, this is what I'm trying to tell you right now, is that it's okay to be alone. Find that outlet, instead of picking up the phone and trying to call your friend that, she got her own stuff going on. And when you talk to her, you sound really crazy to her. And she don't even really know what to do. And she don't really know what to say to you in the first place. Take time for yourself, okay? What else I want to tell y'all? I know another thing, when you're alone, your phone is going to be really dry, because you're not really going to be texting anybody. You're not really going to be worried about what nobody got going on, because you're going to be worried about what you have going on, because what you got going on is more than enough. Once you really sit with yourself, I'm talking about really sit with yourself alone. Don't text nobody. Don't call nobody for at least 3 days. And not even, I ain't even gonna say for at least 3 days, because this journey that I've been on, it's been like a year and a half, or whatever the case may be, however long it takes. Like, God, please prune me. You know what I'm saying? But your phone is gonna be dry, and that's something that you're not gonna be used to. You're gonna be out the loop. I remember. And that's okay. Let me tell you something. I'd rather have a dry phone than a phone ringing off the hook with a whole bunch of mess and a whole bunch of drama and a whole bunch of nothing that don't even have nothing to do with nothing. It's okay. Sit at the house by yourself. One thing about it is that you're going to be out the loop, and it's going to feel really strange when you go, especially when I went back to my hometown. It was just like crazy, because I did not know I didn't know nothing, no tea, like nothing that was going on. And you know what? I was proud of myself, because that means I was doing good. I'm out the way. Like, them folks don't care. Them folks don't care about me. They don't care about what I got going on, and I dang sure can't call them when a bill due. So guess what? Forget them folks. Listen, you have more than enough going on for yourself. I promise you. Be productive. Find things to do with your time. Just because you're in this isolation state, in this period of being alone, don't mean that you just waddle in it, be on the couch. Don't do that. It's been some stuff that you've been wanting to do for so long. Now that you ain't talking to your best friend, or now that y'all taking a little break from each other, or you taking a break away from that man, or you done moved away or whatever, start doing the things that you really been wanting to do. Write that business plan that you've been saying you want to start a business. What your business plan is, or something smaller than that. You got this basket of clothes that's been sitting in your house looking at you every time you come through the door. Stay at home and fold them clothes. It's okay to stay at home. That's another thing I want to say. It's okay to stay at home. Let me tell you something. You save money when you stay at home. Why am I going out? Why am I going out of my house to have fun? Like, I can have fun at the house. I can have my own. If you want to get drunk, you can get drunk at your house. Call somebody. Put on something. You can do that at the house. A lot of people, you know what? I'm telling you, when I tell you I'm in this era of we got McDonald's at the house, go home and cook. Spend time with yourself. It's okay to do that. It's okay. Like, what? Like, why am I going to the bar? To do what? To see these people? Like, what? It's a whole bunch of creeps out here now. I'm at the house. If y'all looking for me. Yeah, like I said, people might think make you think it's a bad thing to be alone. It's not a bad thing. I promise y'all it's not. You will learn so much about yourself. Even, the thing about being alone, like really sitting with yourself daily, is that you get to fight them demons. Yeah, you get to fight those demons, those thoughts that are in your mind when nobody else is around. You get to sit with them, and you get to overcome them. You really get to You get to be like, you know what? I've been people pleasing for way too long. I've been people pleasing for way too long. It's not about other people no more. It's about me. And I don't have any, and don't let anybody make you feel bad for spending time alone, because people will do that. People will. It's okay. And a lot of people, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people, they'll get jealous of you too. People will get jealous because you can be alone, because you can get up and do whatever. Like, and that's okay. That is okay. Like, do not worry about nobody else. I promise you, don't worry about nobody else. You get like I was saying, you get to face a lot of demons when you sit and ponder on things that you pushed away and that you just didn't want to think about. One thing for me is the relationship with my dad. Like, my dad is a nutcase, but the thing about that is just like, that's my dad. That's the one that God gave me. So it's like I gotta roll with the punches. But let me tell you something though. As I'm trying to have a relationship with my dad, I am not going to trade that relationship for my peace. I'm not going to trade it in for my peace. That's not what's going to happen. So that's when I'm putting what I've been learning into place. I'm setting boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because I be having to let this nigga know, like, what's up? You good today? Because with my dad, ooh, y'all, that's a whole nother, I ain't even finna go down there. That's a whole nother video. But, it's a lot of things that people just sweep under the rug, and they don't take time to process, and they don't take time to heal from. When you spend time alone with yourself, you get that time to really unpack and unravel it. If you gotta get you a counselor, do that. If you got whatever you got to do that for yourself, so you can breathe better, so you can stop stressing, and so you can really, so you can really find out what's wrong with you. Because a lot of the times it don't be other people. You be the problem. You're the, and when you're alone, you sometimes find the answer to your own problems. I promise y'all, if y'all just fall off the map for a couple months, just like not even a couple months, just fall off the map. Just forget it. Pour into yourself. Forget everybody and pour everything that you have into yourself. Y'all, I'm telling y'all this because I used to beat myself up. Don't beat yourself up. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Because let me tell you something. When it comes to other people, they're going to put themselves first. I promise you. I promise they're going to put themselves first. Listen, I'm not saying be a hermit crab and just say fuck the whole world. But what I'm saying is, be a hermit crab and fuck the whole world. Yeah, you can do that if that's what it takes for you to get your mind clear, to clear your thoughts. You do that. It's okay to feel those feelings that you've been feeling. A lot of them don't feel good. I assure you, it's not gonna feel good. But man, if you just keep pushing through it, stay away from them people. Listen, stay away from anybody that has blatantly showed you that they don't care about you or your feelings. Anybody that showed you that, you put them on ice. And you pour that energy that you was giving them, you pour that energy into yourself, and I promise you, watch it work out good for you. Watch it work out good for you, y'all. If it's something you feel in your spirit that you want to tell somebody and you feel like you can't tell them, you don't need to be around them people. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, when I go around my family, and when I say my family, let me break this down, because like when I'm talking about my younger self, like back in the day, I'm talking about my mama's side of the family. But now, like, okay, well, let me not do that. But yeah, I wanted to say, nobody can push their way into your life when you know what you want. If you know what you want, don't settle. Do not settle, y'all. I promise. Do not settle just for the sake of being alone. I promise you. When it's so cliche to say you can do bad all by yourself, but when I tell you, that's been me learning. That's been I got that T-shirt. I can do bad all by myself. I got that T-shirt. Yeah. Set boundaries and stand on them. Learn. Listen, when you spend time alone, I hope they got whoever they needed to get here, because goodness, when you spend time alone, you get to you get to find out things about yourself that you never learned. I learned that I had a green thumb, that I have a green thumb. I learned that I have a green thumb. I need to go. Oh, y'all. I need to go back up in here. Let me see what else. How did you get here? How did you get here alone? Embrace that. However you got there, embrace it. Set boundaries. It's gonna be uncomfortable. I promise you, being alone is uncomfortable, but I promise you, once you you know what I'm saying, get out of that uncomfortableness, you're going to be a beast. Let me tell you something. A lot of people, because this right here, I'm never the same way. I'm never the same person I am from yesterday. And I thank God for that, because I've been doing, what you looking at? I'm sorry, y'all. But the thing about it is, when you change, people expect for you to be the same person that you were. When you change, people expect to see the same version of you that they remember. And a lot of times, that's uncomfortable for other people, and that's okay. Let them be uncomfortable. But you stay down. You stay true to the new you that you are, the new you that you're being good to. You stay true to that. And you let them be uncomfortable. Okay? For real. I'm sure you got y'all stay at the house. You got plenty to do at your house. Go clean something. It's something in your house that need to be clean. You can tell your friends that you'll holler at them another day. And yeah, they might talk about you behind your back. Oh well, so what? They're not gonna call your phone and tell you. It's all right to stay in the house. It's all right to say no. It is okay. It's okay to say no, y'all. And no is a complete sentence. A lot of times people get mad at you for you not giving them your time. Let them be mad. Let them, y'all. I promise y'all. For real. Anybody who really loves you, they will understand that it's okay to take time for yourself. Honestly, some people be like, oh, I'm worried about you and all this and all that. You can pick up the phone and call. Oh, I ain't seen you in how long? My number the same. You know what my mama is. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these folks fool you like they really care about you, y'all. Everyone is always what, another thing, everybody always saying, oh, I ain't focusing on nobody but myself. I ain't worried about nobody but myself. That's a lie. Cause guess what, you on the phone. Oh, what happened? What they did? I don't care to know what people got going on. I don't. I have enough going on with myself. I do. Yeah, y'all. Like I said, be where you're celebrated and not tolerated. My battery finna go there. It's okay to spend time with yourself. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for it. Y'all, this is what I wanted to say. The one who gave you breath will never leave you. The one who gave you breath will never leave you. Okay? Sometimes he clears people and things out of your way so you can focus on what you really need to focus on. Sometimes God just wants you to spend some time with him. That's all. He just wants you to, he just wants to love on you. He wants you to know that you're loved. And he wants you to know that it's okay to love yourself. A lot of times we get so caught up in twin, that's my twin. When you die, you get buried alone. Trust me, I know that. I attended 2 funerals this year to people very, very close to me. And they were in the casket alone. Do not let anybody become the source of your happiness. Anybody. I don't care who that is. I don't care what it is. Don't let anybody else become the source of your happiness. Be your own source. Make your own self happy. You have to, y'all. It's so mandatory these days because some people are so dependent on other people. Like, it's crazy. People are so dependent on other people when that person goes off and do something and say, you know what, I want to do this alone. I want to do this by myself. It's like that other person can't stand it. It's like they don't have any identity outside of that person. That's not okay. That's not okay. Find your own identity. Be your own. Love on your own self. I promise you, y'all. It's a journey. I'm sitting up here. I'm telling y'all this because I'm still going through this myself. You know, this ain't no cakewalk. It ain't a cakewalk. It ain't. Like, it really... It's not a cakewalk, y'all, but it's mandatory. If you're trying to elevate your life, like if you're really trying to go, if you got to do different things, if you want different outcomes, like a lot of people be praying and praying for things or whatever like that, but you're still doing the same things, honey. You got to switch it up. You got to. I had to switch it up. I'm trying to make sure out of all my notes, y'all, because listen. And another thing, stay at home. I think I said stay at home. Listen, y'all, the club gonna be there. The bar's gonna be there. Going out, that's gonna be there. Stay at home and spend time with yourself. All of that stuff is gonna be, y'all, I promise y'all. Like my cousins, they be like, you don't go nowhere, you don't go out. No. For what? I spend too much money on rent to be out. What you mean? They ain't got my rent money at the club? At the bar? I'm giving them their money for them to fix me the drink. I could have fixed a bigger drink at my house. I got the Don Julio on top of the... Let me stop. But still. Let's, yeah, y'all. That's all I wanted to say to y'all. Put more into yourself. It's okay. Set boundaries. It's all right to set boundaries and stand on business. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Sometimes I ain't gonna say it hurted me. I'm not gonna say it hurted me, but it just felt like I was like, when I didn't answer phone calls, like, and just sat and watched the phone ring. It kind of hurted a little bit, but that was just my comfortable self. That was just my old people pleasing self. That was just my old, felt like I needed to be around people, or felt like I needed to, have somebody. That was just my old self, not wanting to let go. But now, somebody call me right now. I'll sit. If I feel like I am not up to par, like if I feel like I'm drained, I'm not answering that phone. I'm gonna let it ring. Oh well. Hey, listen. It's okay to be alone. It is. Stop. Grow up. Grow up. A lot of people, and another thing I want to say this before I leave, a lot of people have been in relationships and are now married to a person that they wasn't even supposed to be with. Now, because they didn't get a chance to learn themselves and learn what they needed. And a lot of times, people don't even really put God first in their relationships anyways. We don't really be putting God first in our relationships. When we see these guys or when we see these girls, we don't consult a guy like, hey guy, like, I'm really feeling her. I'm really feeling him. Is she the one? Is he the one? Did you run that by God first? No, you didn't. Now you sitting up here miserable. You about 20 years in, 15 years in, wondering why you just... But that's for another day. All right, y'all. I think that's it. Set boundaries. When you're alone, you have more time to do things that you want to do. It's all right to cut a friend off if you are feeling that your friend is not serving you a purpose, is not, or if you feel like that friend isn't serving you any purpose anymore, or if you feel like that friend isn't reciprocating, the love or the care or the intention that you give them, it's okay to put them on ice. It's okay to fall back from people. It's okay. It's okay. Fall back from them. Fall into And I just want to tell y'all that this is my first twist out ever, y'all. Y'all see this? This is my first twist out ever. I did this all by myself. And I am so proud. Like, this right here is the product of being alone. Because 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I probably would have paid somebody some money, or I would have tried to call one of my friends who I haven't talked to in a long time, which I'm okay with it. Like, it's okay, you know? It is okay. But yeah, I would have called somebody to try to like do this, but I got on TikTok, and guess what? Did it myself. It came out real good, y'all. The perks of being alone, the perks of learning myself, you know. Thank God. And y'all stay tuned for more. Y'all have a blessed day. You know, I really hope that y'all picked up what I was trying to put down here. And yeah, peace, love. I'll see y'all later.